Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, it's been a while. Shalom, shalom. May the perfect peace be with you guys. How are you guys doing? It has been too long since I have had an opportunity to sit down and to be able to spend a little bit of time with you guys on a one-on-one basis. And I missed you. And I miss doing these readings. For those who do not know what this particular reading is, this is the book of Enoch, First Enoch. And it's one of the greatest books in the Apocrypha. Without a shadow of a doubt, we learned so much from this book. And if you've never ever heard of the book of Enoch, or if you have not been part of this series and you're just jumping in, no problem. I'm going to do a recap here in just a second of this amazing book. One that has been hidden from us for many millennia, many decades, centuries. It's all been pulled out of scriptures by the powers that be, the people that think they can control the word of our Creator. And to some extent they have. When you look at our Creator's name, well, they've already tricked everybody. Everybody thinks his name is God. So instead of calling him Yahuwah, Yahweh, everybody calls him a surtitle. It's like calling him Mister. Hey, Mister. How you doing, Mister? Not only that, have they taken out the beautiful name of our Messiah. They call him a Greek name, a name that is something that it's pagan. When you say Jesus, it's not the correct name of our Messiah. You see, there were no J's in Hebrew. And since there were no J's in Hebrew, my apologies for the dogs, the letter J didn't even originate until the 1500s. So if we didn't have the letter J until the 1500s, how in the world did we end up with a name of Jesus in our scriptures? Well, it comes back to the heretic King James, one of the greatest Freemasons, warlocks, person that was involved in all of this madness. He changed it. In fact, prior to the satanic king that was putting this out, and you don't make it into king status unless you are a sold out person. Prior to that, they had the name of our Messiah as Isus, I-E-S-U-S. So how did his name ever come from a Hebrew man's name to some weird name? And why does everybody sit there and claim power, that there's power in the name of Jesus? Well, I don't think having the name wrong is a salvation issue. I don't think it is something that is a problem if we didn't know it, because the problem lies strictly in obedience. Do we obey the laws, the statutes, and commandments of our Creator, or will we be told to depart from our Messiah because we work lawlessness? Have you taken the beautiful first 5 books of scriptures, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and hammered them to the cross? Do you believe they've been fulfilled so that you don't have to keep them anymore? Well, we only have about 158 or so commands that we can keep today. And inside of these laws, statutes, and commandments, we have things about how to run a business, how to run our family, how to marry, how to divorce, how to eat things that are proper eating, or things that are abominations and not even considered food. Do you believe that all food has been made clean because some evil translators have put that inside of parentheses? When you see things in parentheses in your scriptures, that means they weren't there. They weren't there. Some zealous translator decided, oh, all food has been made clean. Why in the world would people say things like this? It's the same kind of people that put all of their salvation on a guy named Paul. If your entire salvation, your entire way of religion is to say, Paul said, and Paul said this, Paul said that, well, Paul said a lot of things. But we also have our Creator, and he walked amongst us, amongst his people, for a very, very long time. And it is because when he walked amongst us, and amongst all of his people, that he gave us a set of precepts, a set of laws, a set of commandments. And he says, he reiterates over 58 times, the largest commandment in any of the commands is to guard the laws of our Creator. Fancy that, huh? Why would our Creator say it over 58 times in 5 books alone that we need to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments? Is it so that we can bury them, not care about them, not apply them to our lives? When in fact, every single one of these commandments are a baruka. They are a blessing for our lives. You will see a breath of fresh air. You will see a new way of seeing, a new vision, a new opportunity in this world when you keep these laws of our Creator. Do you understand? Most people don't. Is that you don't qualify to have a Messiah unless you keep the laws of our Creator. Now, them are fighting words. If you take any one of these sold out religious people that worship on the first day of the week, on a Sunday, the day of the sun, Sol Victus, and you tell them that they don't have a Messiah if they don't have the Torah, they will stone you. They will pick up their pork rinds and smash you over the head with them. They will kill you with a bag of pork rinds, literally. And they will laugh at you the entire time that you do it, the entire endeavor. You become a joke to them. And we have Torah commands that say, don't tempt Yahuwah. Don't tempt our Elohim Most High. We also have a Torah command that says, don't do what we think is right in our own eyes. Because we've been given good instructions. And it is because of these good instructions that all of us will have an opportunity in the kingdom to come. So if you want to be a child of the Most High, if you want to be loved and have that loyalty of our Creator taking us in the kingdom to come under His Son, Messiah Yahushua, as our leader, well, it's a Torah-based world. It's all Torah. Torah, 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 Torah. And that right there infuriates people. Now, I'm not talking the Torah of Judaism, because they have things that break commandments as well. Because we have a command that says, do not add to and do not take away from the Torah. So when you have the oral Torah or the Talmud, Kabbalah, the Zohar, all of this black magic of Judaism, that breaks commandments. We don't have any commands that say we need to wash our hands before we eat, which is what our Messiah was duking it out with his Pharisees and Sadducees. They couldn't believe he would just sit down amongst tax collectors and women around there and just eat without washing his hands. What's wrong with you? You've just broken the oral Torah. Nope, he didn't break anything. He broke man's doctrines. And that's what our Messiah was here for. He was here to show us that we need to get back to the Torah and back to the way of our Creator. And there's no way unless you guys read the Scriptures. The Scriptures are the greatest things that we have ever been given because it gives us literally the guidepost for life. It gives us a foundation. The best way forward is simply by keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. And they're easy. There's nothing hard. Probably when you first got into Torah keeping and law keeping, it may seem a little weird. It may seem a little bizarre when you take a Saturday off, a seventh day, and you rest. And you don't work, you don't cling, you don't cook, you don't do anything that our Creator has said not to do. It may seem weird, but after a while, it becomes a part of you. It becomes something that is a covenant path. You are keeping it at an appointed time every time you keep the seventh day Shabbat. Now, a lot of people will get in their cars and drive for miles and miles and miles and go and hang out with a bunch of people. And by the time they get home on a Shabbat, they're dead. They're dead inside. They're really, really tired. Most of the time, back in the days when they were keeping Shabbat, they would walk next door over to little assemblies, little ecclesias, right? The entire church endeavor of going out and building all these 501c3 churches and having everybody drive for miles around and worship on the wrong day, that's satanic. That is literally satanic. It's part of a cult. Now, everybody that will laugh and scoff at those who keep the Torah, they're like, oh, Jason, you're in a cult? Oh, poor Jason. Oh, you think you're better than everybody else because you keep the laws of our Creator. And for those of us who keep the laws, we know that's absolutely not true. In fact, those of us who keep the laws know how much we actually fail because we know the laws. When our Messiah says that most people don't make it, that few find life, why would he say this? If there's billions of people that have found salvation, Why does our Messiah say few find it? Is he a liar? Is our Messiah a filthy liar? I say no. I say that is blasphemy if you would go down that road, because we know that to be a perfect sacrifice that was able to be atonement for our sins on the stake, just like that perfect lamb, he couldn't have sinned. He couldn't lie. He couldn't be a filthy liar. So when our Messiah says, "Depart from me, you who work lawlessness, you who are Torah-less," what do you think he means? Well, it's just what he says. And people think that they know our Messiah. They do miracles in his name. They cast out demons in his name. They think they know him really well. And our Messiah says, "Depart from me." Those are scary words. And these are the words that we are trying to avoid, because we want to make the kingdom. I want to give you guys a giant, big bear hug. Every single one of you guys. High five you all. Hang out with you. Have some lunch, dinner. I want to see King David. I want to see Enoch. I want to see Moshe. I want to see Jacob. I want to ask Jacob how he didn't go insane raising these 12 wild lions that he had. How did he do it? Right? I want to talk to Joseph. I want to talk to all of them. Right? And most of all, I want to talk to our Messiah and his dad. I want to have them look at me and say, "You good steward, you good servant." Because there's no better place to be than on your knees in prayer to our Creator, glorifying him for the life that we have, for the breath that we have, for everything. Everything that we have from the moment we get up to the moment we go to bed is because our Creator has willed it. 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 10 fingers, 10 toes, ability to walk, sleep. Have you ever thought how magnificent sleep was, that we can recharge our little forms? How about our immune systems? People get colds all the time. And hey, you know what? Guess what? All of my fasting and dieting that I've been doing to reverse type 2 diabetes, everybody got a cold here in my house. It plagued everybody. They got really super sick. You want to know who didn't get a cold? Yep, that's me. So I'm back to saying this, and with examples that diet and exercise and fasting is the guide to life. And I'm on a day 2 of a fast right now. And I am, day 1 was not so good. And currently, at present, I eat 2 weeks in a month. And the other 2 weeks right now, I've been doing a 5-day only water fast. And so we'll see how far I can go this week. I hope I can go 5 days. It's not something for the weak of spirit. It's not something for those who are addicted to food, addicted to sugar. But it's something that there's over 70% of the world right now that has type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. We are a very sick world, eating very bad foods, breads that we shouldn't be eating. We should not be eating these kind of carbohydrates like we're eating. So, guys, with that, I'd like to introduce you into the greatest English translation of scriptures that you guys will ever see. Big Blue is a limited edition scriptures right before your eyes. I don't know how many we're down to, 500 maybe, I don't know. But some days we get a lot of orders. It has become something that has just taken off beyond anything. And we cannot thank you guys enough for everybody that has got into Big Blue Scriptures, that has allowed us to ship in scriptures. Last week we sent over 222 little paperback scriptures between everyone who did a pre-order and everybody in the prisons. We've doused the prisons, and it is en masse. People are now reading their scriptures. Guys, 222 out of the thousands that we got, that is a big number. And so that is a lot of people out there that have now received the paperback. And I've gotten a lot of amazing reports. People love it. It has a very nice little cover on it to keep it protected. It should keep you guys reading for a very long time. And then you have Big Blue right here, which is 14.5 font. It is large print. There will never be another scriptures like this. It has 103 books, all of the Apocrypha, including the book of Enoch, which we're just about to read. So guys, get them while you can still get them. In the description below is a link to them. And there's also a link to the free app, We have given away, currently there's 2 languages, English and Spanish, and we have the Apple version, and we also have the Android version, absolutely free of charge. The greatest English translation given away to the world. And guys, we've lapped all the books that we've given out, right? What we did is we said we are going to give this book away for free, and we spent almost $10,000 on one version of it, and we're still spending thousands of dollars on this. And we've, you guys out there, there's a lot of you guys out there that actually helped us with this Apple version. And pretty soon the Apple version is going to lap the Android version, and the Android version has been out much longer. So all you Apple users have it. And guys, we are about to make a giant upgrade to this app. And so probably by the end of this week, the upgrade is going to be out there, and it's going to be super cool. You guys want to know what it is? Drum roll. That's a weak drum roll, but we'll give it that. It's an auto scroller. So it's one of these things that now you'll be able to click it at the speed you want, and instead of having to scroll up, when you're reading, it will automatically scroll for you. And so that was a big feature, something I needed, because I'm sitting there reading the book of Jasher, and I must have to scroll up 35 times on one chapter alone because it's so large. And so we're going to be putting that out there. And we're also putting a link at yahscriptures.com for anybody that wants to help us with future upgrades. We are adding Swahili, and we are also almost done with Hindu. I think we have like another 15, 20 books of Hindu. Hindu took us a long time because it doesn't actually have letters like we know. It's like symbols and all this crazy stuff. And so Hindu took us a very, very long time. And Swahili, I am like 6 or 7 books into Swahili myself. Eli is finishing up the Hindu. And so we still need, if you have the ability and are willing to help us donate to get these out, we would really, really appreciate it. And one thing we're also looking at is some possible way for those who are unable to see that they can read this scriptures. But, we had people that came and stoned us because they're like, oh, it doesn't read this. And I'm like, there's nothing out there that could read Paleo Hebrew along with all of these special character words that are in Yah Scriptures. This scriptures is so unique that we have the name of our Creator that has been restored. And good luck finding something that can actually read this in the world. And we also have the beautiful name of our Messiah, Yahushua, in Paleo Hebrew. So we're going to have to come up with something, and maybe the Ruach HaKodesh is able to give us the insight on exactly how in the world we are going to be able to do something like this, because if it's able to be read in the near future, it's going to be something we have to design from the ground up on how to do it. So it's going to be real interesting. We will see how to do this, hopefully in the near future. But for those who can help us and grab the Yah Scriptures, the big blue, while the limited edition print is in. And again, we don't know if we're ever going to get another big blue. So this is a limited edition, one-time print. The paperbacks are doing very, very well. And the next thing that we're probably going to get is an Apocrypha paperback. And so we'll have them split, and there's going to be small print, which is unfortunate. So get the big blue while you still can. And if you guys want extras, for those, get them. I do believe they are going to be something that are hard to get in the future. But for now, they're still available. And let's get into this. We are in to the book of Enoch. Let's do a quick recap, guys. This is the book of Enoch. And so chapters 1 through 5, Enoch introduces his vision concerning the Kodesh and the wicked. Yahuwah comes with 10,000s of his Kodesh ones to judge all. The earth, mountains, seas, and heavenly lights testify against the sinners. And, I love that part of Enoch where it talks about the sun and the moon and the stars. And Enoch is a flat earther book, right? It is a complete flat earth book. There's no way that we're spinning around like a bunch of monkeys on a spinning water ball when you read the book of Enoch. We have gates, we have luminaries, we have things that obey the ways of what our Creator says. And when it says that all of these things out there illuminate all of these things, it is very, very true in all of this. And so they're obeying the laws of our Creator, but why aren't we? Next part, on chapters 1 through 5, the righteous are promised peace, light, and eternal blessings. Now, chapters 6 through 16 is actually called the Watchers and the Giants. And it's the sons of Elohim, the Watchers, descend on Mount Kerman, led by Shimei. They take wives beget giants who devour mankind, beasts, and even each other. Watchers teach sorcery, enchantments, weaponry, cosmetics, and root cuttings. The righteous cry out, prayers ascend to the Shamayim. Yahuwah sends Uriel, Raphael, and Yahuwah sends Michael, Gabriel to bind the watchers and destroy their offspring. The giants perish. Their spirits become wandering, unclean spirits. The demons that are always jumping into humans, that are always trying to take us over, trying to ruin our lives, trying to do the will of their daddy Hasatan. The watchers are bound in the valleys of the earth until the day of judgment. Now, chapters 17 through 36 is Enoch's journey through the Shamayim, heaven and earth. Enoch is taken by messengers through the earth's ends, mountains of fire, rivers, and places of torment. He sees the 7 mountains of precious stones, the dwelling place of the righteous, and the tree of life. He visits the place of the fallen messengers imprisoned under mountains of darkness. Sheol is revealed with its 4 hollow places, separating the righteous, sinners, martyrs, and the wicked awaiting torment. The 4th part of this is chapters 37 through 71, and it's the parables of Enoch. It's the first parable is the visions of the chosen one, the Son of Man, Messiah Yahushua, sitting on the throne of esteem. The wicked will be removed. The righteous will inherit light. Enoch is shown secrets of the Shamayim stars and the messengers who govern them. Now, chapters 45 through 57 is the second parable. The Son of Man is revealed as our judge, seated beside the Ancient of Days, his pops, Yahuwah, our Elohim Most High. Nations will bow. Kings will be judged. The flood is foreshadowed. Sinners will perish while the righteous are preserved. Enoch sees visions of armies, plagues, and punishments prepared for the kings and mighty ones. Now, the third parable is 58 through 69. The righteous are clothed with garments of esteem and seated with the Son of Man, not the Son of Men. The name of the Son of Man is revealed. He existed before creation, chosen by Yahuwah. Secrets of wisdom, lightning, and thunders are shown. Fallen messengers listed with their sins and the knowledge they corrupted mankind with. No forgiveness is given to Aziel and his evil companions. Now, chapters 70 and 71 are extremely beautiful. Enoch is taken into the Shamayim again. He's transformed into the likeness of a messenger. He's seated among the Kodesh ones. He is named the Son of Man in vision, showing his role as witness and scribe of righteousness. Now, chapter 72. It's the book of the heavenly luminaries. It detailed the vision of the sun's motion through the portals of the Shamayim. There's different gates. The sun there's 6 different gates the sun and moon go out of. And there's 6 different gates that they go into every single day. They follow this routine. So the seasons are based upon where the sun and moon go out of and where they go into, how long they're out there. It also describes a solar year of 364 days with divisions of seasons. And the angel, the messenger Uriel, explains laws of the sun, moon, and stars and winds. And the heavenly order testifies to righteousness, while sinners corrupt the times and seasons. All right, let's get into this. What you're looking at right before your eyes, my friends and family, is the Yah Scriptures. And this is the older version. We're going to be getting an update very, very soon. I'm taking out the blog. We're moving the Torah commands to the top. And guys, you will be able to have all this. And the auto scroller is going to be amazing. What you're looking at is you're looking at Big Blue. All 103 books right before your eyes, as perfected as we can possibly get it. And we're always making changes on it as well. Now here we are, the book of Enoch, as we're cruising through this thing, chapter 73. After this law, I saw another law dealing with a smaller light, which is named the moon. And her circumference, remember the sun is male, moon is female. And her circumference is like the circumference of the Shamayim. And her chariot in which she rides is driven by the wind, and light is given to her in measure. And her rising and going down change every month. And her days are like the days of the sun. And when her light is uniform, it amounts to the 7th part of the light of the sun. Okay, so we know the sun is bright, right? And when we have the moon completely lit up, it's about a seventh of the part of it, right? It's not hot like the sun. It's not burning like the sun, giving us this. But we know that from the book of Enoch that the moon is how we calculate our days of the month. How do we figure out what is what? Where are we at in the month? Well, it's a time clock in the sky. 4. And thus she rises, and her first phase in the east comes forth on the 30th morning, 30th morning. And on that day she becomes visible and constitutes for you the first phase of the moon on the 30th day, together with the sun in the portal where the sun rises. And the one half of her goes forth by a seventh part, and her whole circumference is empty, without light, with the exception of 1/7 part of it, the 14th part of her light. Okay, so let's take a quick understanding of what we have, right? As you guys probably know, for those of you who actually observe the moon, we go from no moon at all, where you can't see anything. You can kind of see like a background sometimes of it, where it like looks like a frame of it, but it's not really there, at least with light. And what we have is we're talking about 14 sections of light throughout the month that we're going to do. So how this works is when she receives 1/7 part of the half of her light amounts to 1/7 part and the half thereof. And she goes down with the sun. And when the sun rises, the moon rises with him and receives the half of one part of light. And in that night, in the beginning of the lunar day, I think, and in the night, in the beginning of her morning, in the beginning of the lunar day, the sun goes down, the moon goes down with the sun, and is invisible that night when the 14 parts and the half of one of them. And she rises on that day with exactly a seventh part, and comes forth and recedes from the rising of the sun, and in her remaining days she becomes bright in the 13 parts. So every single day that you guys see this, right, we have 14 times before it goes all the way to a full moon. So starting around the 30th of the month, right, it's completely blank. There's nothing there. And then every single day, we get 1/14 of it lights up little bits of a time until it is what we call a full moon. So that is when we see a full moon, we are halfway through our month. And then what's going to happen, I'm going to be a spoiler alert here, is it's going to drop down in that same fashion, right? It goes from a full moon to which you can see to where you can basically figure out your times and your seasons. And it will start dropping down 1/14 of the month to the end of the month. Continuing on. And I saw another course, a law for her, how according to the law she performs her monthly revolution. And all these Uriel, the Kodesh messenger, who is the leader of them all, showed to me, and their positions. And I wrote down their positions as he showed them to me. And I wrote down their months as they were. And the appearance of their lights till 15 days were accomplished. In single seventh parts she accomplishes all her light in the east, and in single seventh parts accomplishes all her darkness in the west. And in certain months she alters her going down, and in certain months she pursues her own peculiar course. In 2 months the moon goes down with the sun. In those 2 middle portals, the 3rd and the 4th, she goes forth for 7 days, and turns about, and returns again through the portal where the sun rises, and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes from the sun, and in 8 days enters the 6th portal from which the sun goes forth. And when the sun goes down forth from the 4th portal, she goes forth 7 days, until she goes forth from the 5th, and turns back again in 7 days into the 4th portal, and accomplishes all her light, and she recedes and enters into the 1st portal in 8 days. So this is the same gates, portals, doors, whatever you want to call them, that the sun comes out. And now we are getting the actual places that the moon goes out. And it, just like the sun, I think if I remember right, I think it starts in 4 or 5, and it goes 5, 6, and then it goes back into all the way down to 1. And now we have the courses of the moon. And so this is the genius of our Creator, right? Who could ever create something as genius as this is, that you can actually see all of this? It's incredible. And she returns again in 7 days into the fourth portal from which the sun goes forth. Thus I saw their position, how the moon rose and the sun went down in those days. And in 5 years are added together, the sun has an excess of 30 days. And all the days which increase to it for one of those 5 years when they are full amount to 364 days. And the excess of the sun and of the stars amounts to 6 days. In 5 years, 6 days every year come to 30 days, and the moon falls behind the sun and stars to the number of 30 days. This is the this is where you have to adjust your days and months and years and various things based upon the direction of the moon and sun. And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto everlasting, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. In 3 years, there are 1,092 days, and in 5 years, 1,820 days, so that in 8 years, there are 2,912 days. For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1,062 days, and in 5 years, she falls 50 days behind. To the sum, there is 5 to be added in 62 days. And in 5 years, there are 1,770 days. So that for the moon, the days in day 6 in 8 years amount to 2,832 days. For in 8 years, she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. All the 17 days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through it, which it rises and goes down 30 days. Now you can actually map this out, and it makes a tremendous amount of sense, and it tells us exactly how to get time right. And, the thing about the Torah community is there's a lot of different calendars. There's a lot of people. There's guys like Nick Vanderland who believes he was given this calendar, and nobody else was able to get this. You got all sorts of different people. You have the Judaistic calendars. You have the Enoch style calendars. You have the Zadok calendars, and the Zadok fall in line with Enoch as well. And so there is a lot of different calendars, and I think the point is that we need to find a calendar and stick to it. And sometimes we move around calendars. Sometimes we feel like we have the Ruach HaKodesh that is leading us in a certain direction, and we break out our sundials and we look at when things are set in the seasons and try to get things as good as we possibly can. And I don't know if we'll ever get the calendars completely right, guys. I don't know if that's even possible. We're 6,000 years beyond what creation was. We have had everybody and their dog, like the Julian calendar, and none of this stuff is right? We have a calendar right now that has like pagan god names and all these things, Janus, and same for week names, right? We have Sunday, we have Thursday, we have all of these Frigidae. All of those are pagan gods, and all these things we live in a very, very corrupted world, and the very best that we are going to be able to do as Yah's people is be obedient. And that doesn't mean just because we can't figure out exactly or we can't make sense of everything that we just don't do it, right? You hear that all the time. You hear this there's people on YouTube, we call him Bathrobe Bob, and he's out there laughing at people about keeping the appointed times and all of this and that. We're not going to get it right? We will get it right when our Messiah comes down. But if we are lawless, if we're not even trying, why would we ever be accepted into the kingdom to come, right? We're not going to do it just because we don't know what the day is. Well, we can come up with something. We can come up with something that we feel is proper, do as much research as we possibly can. And if we have it wrong, we got it wrong, right? Are we going to get stoned? Are we going to get sent to the bad parts of Sheol because we've been trying with everything we have? I don't think so. I think that is the point, is that we all need to be trying to the very best of our abilities, and we await our Messiah. We await him. Okay, let's continue on. 75. And the leaders of the heads of the thousands who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars have also to do with the 4 intercalary days, being inseparable from their office according to the reckoning of the year. And these render service on the 4 days, which are not reckoned in the reckoning year. So there's a huge thing that goes on about these intercalary days. And owing to them, men go astray therein. For those lights truly render service on the world stations, one in the first portal, one in the third portal, the Shamaim, one in the fourth portal, and one in the sixth portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. For the signs and the times and the years and the days the messenger Uriel showed to me, whom Yahuwah of esteem has appointed forever over all the lights of the Shamaim, in the Shamaim and in the world, that they should rule on the face of the Shamaim and be seen on the earth, and be leaders for the day and the night, the sun, moon, and stars, and all the ministerings beings which make their revolution, and all the chariots of the Shamaim. In the same way, 12 doors Uriel showed me opened in the circumference of the sun's chariot in the Shamaim, through which the rays of the sun break forth, and from them is warmth diffused over the earth when they are opened at their appointed times. And we have this company called NASA that actually means deceiver, deceit in Hebrew. And they tell us the sun is 93 million miles away. The heat that you're feeling is from like 8 years ago. The sun's rays that you're seeing, the light you're seeing is from 8 years ago. Nothing is current. But yet it seems like you can walk out and you can feel that heat. You can feel that sun is just rolling across your head, right? If there's no clouds, you really feel the sun, right? It's incredible, the lies and the deception that all of us have been indoctrinated into. And it's unfortunate because we all grew up in these education systems where you have a spinning ball and these earth, and their teachers that are supposed to know better are lying to us, and they don't know any better either. 5. And for the winds and the spirit of the dew, when they are open, standing open in the Shamaim at the ends. As for the 12 portals in the Shamaim, at the ends of the earth, out of which go forth the sun, moon, and stars, and all the works of the Shamaim in the east and in the west. We have 6 in the east and 6 in the west. There are many windows open to the left and right of them, and one window at its appointed time produces warmth, according to those doors from which the stars come forth, according as he has commanded them, and wherein they are placed corresponding to their number. And I saw chariots in the Shamaim running in the world, above those portals in which revolve the stars that never go down. And one is larger than all the rest, and it is that which makes its course through the entire world. 76. At the ends of the earth, I saw 12 portals open to all the quarters from which the winds go forth and blow over the earth. 3 of them are open on the face of the Shamaim, and 3 in the west, and 3 on the right of the Shamaim, and 3 on the left. So now we're learning, we've heard of this before. We heard about where the rain and the dew and the sleet and the snow, all of them come out of different portal-like things. And now we're discussing, and we've discussed the wind before in Enoch, but now we're talking about it again, right? There's doors, right? 3, 3, 3, 3, and all the way around us to one's probably sucking the wind in and one's blowing it out, and vice versa. 3. And the 3 first are those of the east, and the 3 are of the north, and 3 after those on the left of the south, and 3 of the west. Through 4 of these come winds of baraka, blessings and prosperity, and from those 8 come hurtful winds. When they are sent, they bring destruction on all the earth and on the water upon it, and on all who dwell upon it, and on all which are in the water and on the land. And the first wind from these portals, called the east wind, comes forth through the first portal, which is in the east, inclining towards the south. From it comes forth desolation, drought, heat, and destruction. And through the second portal in the middle comes what is fitting, and from it there comes rain and fruitfulness and prosperity and dew. And through the third portal, which lies toward the north, come cold and drought. And after these come forth the south winds, through 3 portals. Through the first portal of them, inclining to the east, comes forth a hot wind. And through the middle portal next to it, there come forth fragrant smells and dew and rain and prosperity and health. And through the third portal, lying to the west, come forth dew and rain, locusts and desolation. And after these, the north winds from the 7th portal in the east come forth dew and rain, locusts, desolation. And that's interesting, right? We don't, a lot of times in scriptures, we have heard of the locust devouring things, right? We have the locusts of Egypt, of Mitzrayim, And, it's very interesting that there's an actual portal that it mentions locust and desolation. What is desolation, right? What is this? Well, it sounds grim. And so it's interesting that locusts are actually described in this as part of that desolation. 11. And from the middle portal come in a direct direction, health and rain and dew and prosperity. And through the third portal in the west come cloud and frost and snow and rain and dew and locust. And after these 4 are the west winds. Through the first portal adjoining the north come forth dew and frost and cold and snow and ice. And from the middle portal come forth dew and rain and prosperity and baraka, blessings. And through the last portal which adjoins the south come forth drought and desolation and burning and destruction. And the 12 portals of the 4 quarters of the Shamaim are completed, and all their laws and all their plagues and all their goodness have I shown to you, my son, Methuselah. All right, guys. Well, it's lesser and less times that I get time to read with you guys. I enjoy this immensely. I enjoy reading scriptures and talking with you all and being a part of your guys' lives as you guys are all a part of my life. I truly love everyone out there. I truly am praying for all of you guys. I ask that you will pray for us, for Yah Scriptures, and for all the soldiers of our Creator. And guys, never forget the Torah. Never forget the beautiful laws of our Creator. It is something that if you do not keep and you do not follow, your lives will be worse off than if you would come to our Creator by His Torah. Come to our Messiah by showing that you are loyal to the same laws, statutes, and commands that our Messiah kept, all the appointed times, the beautiful right rulings and righteousness of the Torah. It's something for all of us, for all generations, for all peoples. If you have a family, embolden your wife, embolden your husband, embolden your children. Read scripture with them every single night. Pray with them before they leave the house in the morning. Pray with them before you guys go to bed. Guys, we're supposed to write these laws, statutes, and commandments on our heart, mind, and soul that we are unable to sin against our Creator. Guys, with that, I love y'all. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Until we can meet again, much love to y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom.